Netflix earnings analysis. My thesis on Netflix is that Netflix has great potential this next year because of their subscription growth in international markets. First, we can see that revenue is expected to grow in Q1 2017. And let's see why. They're getting $200 million in revenue, which seems like average for the previous quarters. What I'd like to see is their contribution margin is growing, and it grew by 5% since Q4 2016. And that's awesome for Netflix because expanding those profit margins are just going to increase and increase and increase as they build their infrastructure, especially around the world. Also, what I like to see in revenue is that international streaming is finally turning a profit in Q1 2017. And I think this is a tipping point because every quarter from now on is going to have positive profit from international streaming. And this is really important. Now, Q1 contribution profit seems low at $16 million, but really it's almost $100 million because they've been losing at least $67 million a quarter on international streaming. And now they're finally turning a profit. That's really going to grow both their income and their earnings per share, which is what I want to see for Netflix, especially since they're taking in this much debt to make content. Okay, now second, we have total paid memberships and total memberships growing really amazingly. It looks like Q3 to Q4, they gained 7 million net additions of memberships. It looks like Q4 to Q1, only 5 million. However, that's still really great and above average. Also, their net additions for membership is usually above what they estimate. They're about to hit the 100 million membership milestone. And I think this is going to be big news for Netflix. And positive news like this is going to jump the stock price up, especially once that paid memberships hit 100 million. That's going to even grow it further. We also see their profit margins increasing. And I think their profit margins are increasing because they've already built and spent money on the infrastructure, and they already spent money on content. And so that stays there. Now last, we have the potential that Netflix has in international markets. They haven't even hit China yet, and they're still expanding. So it looks like total memberships internationally is 48 million. So it's about half and half domestically and international. But internationally, there's more people. So there's a lot more memberships to still hit. Now, what a lot of beginners miss on earnings is that after earnings, there's an interview or a conference call about those earnings. And this is with the CEO and the CFO and usually another third member. For Netflix, it's the chief content creator. I watched it on YouTube. I also read the transcript and I found something really interesting towards the end. Now, the analyst asked the question, we have had a conversation in the past where you talked about to satisfy consumers, you have to give them all of the television shows they want for $25. That I never heard of. And I forgot that Netflix has many more TV shows that aren't accessible in the United States. And also, other countries aren't access to shows in the United States. Imagine if we could have all those shows for just a little higher price. And that little higher price is only $15 more. If they make a plan like that, that could double their revenue. And if they double their revenue, they're going to see profit and they could pay their debt off so quickly. Okay, now these are the positives that I've seen. There are some negatives. One of the negatives I see is that they've taken out $1 billion in loans. They took it out in a senior note, so this is a bond with a coupon of 4.375%. This means that once the bond matures, they have to pay $1 billion, and the interest, which is $43 million per year. They have spent a lot of money on creating content. It looks like on their balance sheet that additions to streaming content assets last quarter were $2 billion they spent. And this is where their money's going. But also, this is like research and development. This is building product. This is building international infrastructure, which really increased their profit in the future. And I think it's starting in 2017. All right, so to wrap it all up, we have positive revenue growth in Q1 2017. We have positive subscription growth in 2017, which includes almost hitting that 100 million total membership milestone. We also see they're expanding into international markets, and they have started to turn a profit in international streaming, and that's going to be really great for their future. We also see the potential they have in Asia, which is open to billions of customers. And we also see the potential for them to double their revenue if that rumor around a $25 subscription for all available Netflix shows and movies. While it is speculation, and I think it's a possibility, and it could even be Netflix's endgame move and a reason behind all this debt they're taking in to create this content. The negatives we see this quarter for Netflix are, one, their international streaming profits. The profit margins aren't high enough, and that's the reason behind why their costs are so high. Second, we see that the amount of debt they're incurring is extremely high, and this is a negative because, one, they have to repay the debt, and two, they'll have to start paying interest on that debt, which cuts into their income. And lastly, we see the amount of cash they're spending on new content. And I want to be worried about this because it is basically research and development, but they are spending over $2 billion a quarter on it. They spent a total of $8.6 billion in 2016, and so we have yet to see those returns on the amount they invested in this new content. That's what I think on Netflix, and I'm going to probably buy equity tomorrow and plan for those positive earnings, and if it holds, then I'm going to hold it out until the end of this year. If you like stock market videos, financial education videos, stock analysis, and stock education, please like this video and subscribe.